Hello guys. This video I will explain the code that I used in the smart home project. I will start with the first section. It's the libraries that I used for the component. For example, DHT library is the library for temperature sensor, and MFRC is for card reader, servo for servo motor, and software serial is for communication between the Bluetooth and Arduino. Then we defined our type of temperature sensor, which DHT11. Then our software serial is, we defined it by my serial, so now we can say my serial only, it's enough, which connected with pins 0 and 1, RX and TX. Here we initialize the variables for all the components. For example, the green LED for the gate, which connected to pin number 2, and motor pool is connected with pin number 4 on Arduino. For like everything here is connected with, for all the pins it's defining. Also, for example, the LED for room number 2 is connected with A0 on the Arduino. Then we go to this function that say symbol DHT11 and DHT servo, my servo. We called all these functions are ready from the library we included in the beginning. Then we define the income value. It's coming from application to our Arduino by chart, because we are receiving character and numbers. Test, we define it as a string because we will send one string for all the value we have from sensor reading to the application using Bluetooth. Byte T and H is the temperature and humidity value. It's by bytes to not take memory, huge memory. So in setup, this setups section, it's running only once when the code will start. So we define the communication. Our communication range is 9600, and here we are defining all the input output and the servo angle, like 0 or 90. We here start with 90. It's our default angle. Then we can go to loop, which this loop, it's repeat itself every while, like every 1.5 second it repeat itself. So in loop we called all this function IR and water, IR sensor and water sensor, of course, and the light output, temperature sensor, main gate. We can read all of this every 1.5 second we are reading this. Let's start with the first function with this, which is temperature. In temperature there is a function ready one. We can read directly the temperature and humidity if it's connected. If it's not connected, we'll give you null, like it's give us 0. About water sensor, we start to read the value of the water sensor. It's 0 or 1. So we said here, if digital read, if you read the value of the sensor pin is 0, so send no, not send. If you read water sensor pin, yeah, low 0, set the water sensor value equal no. Okay, else if it's high, set it as yes. Then after set it yes, turn on the buzzer for 5 seconds and turn it off 5 seconds, 5 milliseconds, sorry, for 4 times. In IR sensor, we initialize the integer status sensor to read the status of the sensor, if it's high or low. The status sensor equal digital read IR sensor, so we read the variable it's coming from the sensor and we save it in the status sensor. Then we compare, we said if it's equal 1, if it's high, do turn on the light, the lid of IR sensor, which and save secure in IR status value. Else if we have another condition, if it is status sensor equals 0 and character S, character S, it is the characters coming from the application. There is a button, if we click it, it send S. If it send S and the status sensor equals 0, so digital write, go to IR led and turn it off. Also save alert word in the IR status. Character equals 0 because it was equal S when we send it. Okay, we save it, then make it 0 because we are going to use it later again and again. Okay, about tone, delay, non-tone, this is the buzzer, so we explained before. For main gate function, first we initialize x, it's a variable, we need it later. Said first, like, look, search for a new card. If you find a new card and if this card was has same ID that we storage in the system, wait for 5 milliseconds, then turn on the lid, green lid, then open the gate, move the servo to 0 angle, wait for 5 seconds, then close the servo, rotate it back to 90 degree and turn off the light and make current equal 1. Else here it mean if the card doesn't have the same ID that it's storage in the system, in our system, so what should we do? Current equals 0 and we start turning on the buzzer and the lid in all the home. Turn off on for 10 times. Light output, if LDR status equal analog read, so read the LDR bin and save it in LDR status. Okay, now we say if LDR status is less or equal to 200 and character A, it means there is a button on application, it's written automatic. When you click it, so we send from application to Arduino, we send the letter A. Okay, so if LDR status less or equal 200, so it's dark and we set it as automatic, turn on the light outside, make it high, so turn it on. Else if LDR status more than 200, so there is a light and character equal 1, so if you set it as automatic and there is a light outside, no need to turn the lid outside on because there's already light enough. So turn the to digital write output out LED bin low, which is off. Let's go to send to app. First we define the test as the string, because we will collect all the sensor value. We will collect all the sensors value and we send them once in string. We will not send values of sensor by sensor. Okay, so we will send them in the package, okay, in one package. So the test is string first. This first line, it means the test is empty. Then we add IR status, which is alert or secure, or IR sensor, which is, we said here in the beginning, we can check IR sensor secure or alert. Yeah, so we send secure or alert. It depends on the IR sensor status. Then we add comma to separate between the IR and next variable for the sensor. Then we add water sensor value, which is yes or no. Then humidity, then comma, then temperature. In the end we send once serial print test. We send it once, receiving from the application, mobile application, to the Arduino. We have many characters here, so each button in the application, it sends one character. So here one character equal U, that means digital write LED bin out, make it high. So when you click U, actually you are clicking on the button like garden on, LED on, so it send you. When it send you, make the bin outside, the LED outside high, so turn on the LED outside, then character make it 0, return it back to 0. If the character was, let's say here, character 1 and the room status was 0, so turn the LED room 1 high and set room status 1 and character set it 0, then go out. That's all for the code, and in next video I will explain the circuit, and I will explain the sensors, how it works and everything. Thank you for listening.